Welcome, everybody, to the Fuzzy Show. Fuzzy Talks. Live on the porch. Got a special guest star here. Got Fuzzy Sr. He happened to make it up. He made it up for the night, and we're going to bring him on the show. You can't see him real good. You can see him if you're on YouTube. YouTube's coming through real good, but my camera phone for Facebook, well, not very wide, I guess. So we have to find a way to do it. But as you know, here on Fuzzy, we just blow whistles, throw flags, and every now and then we'll give somebody a first down. That don't come around very often, though, because most of them in the political life is, you know how they are. They don't tell the truth. That's what it comes down to. They just don't tell the truth out there. So the first thing I want to do is, I get a lot of things on the official stuff of how officials, one person can call this and one person calls the complete opposite. And I found a great illustration. I've got the softball case book, 2020 case book, and the softball 2020 rules book. And I was just reading this earlier with Fuzzy Sr. And I want you to hear what I read. And then I'm going to go back to the rule book and explain the part that this case book missed. It's Rule 8813. R1. So runner is on third base with nobody out. F5, who is the third baseman, is playing behind third base a few steps and close to the foul line. B2, the batter, hits a hard one-hopper down the line, which freezes the runner on third base. On third base when the batted ball hits her. The umpire judges that F5, the third baseman, could have made a play on the ball. So the ruling here says, the ball is dead immediately, and R1 is out, B2 is awarded. Now, how do we get that separated from the rule? Here's the part I forgot to tell you. In the rule book, Rule 8813, if you are hit by a fair ball while touching the base, you're safe unless you intentionally interfere with the ball. So the case book forgets to say it intentionally interferes, but that's the thing we remember, and that's why if you're reading different things, sometimes officials can, one official calls this, one official calls that. Well, how's that happen? Well, here you go. This is how it goes, and that's why we try to go back between the case book and the rule book, try to get the things clear is what we try to do. And so today we're going to talk about a few things. And one of the things today is the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And most people in the biblical term, the people read that and they talk about the devil, but I'm going to talk about enemies of our life because there's enemies in your life that are real. That's right. They're just real enemies. And if I bring this into officiating situation, and a lot of people like to yell at us officials. They think we missed a call or we should have made a call or we didn't make a call or whatever their reason is. Their kid was safe. Their 10-year-old should be playing college ball. We don't know how we missed that pitch, right? They go off on the officials, but when they do that, they steal the officials' joy of the game is what takes place. So now no longer are we having fun because you got somebody in the crowd going off about something, a game in all reality, which the person going off, I don't see him down there making any calls. I don't see him signing up. I don't see him putting on the striped shirts. But he steals. So the officials' game gets stolen from them. So what happens is all of a sudden now it's stolen. And guess what? It starts going down the line. Pretty soon the coaches are stealing your game. Pretty soon the players are stealing your joy. All because somebody just doesn't want to have good time at a game, whatever game you're doing, right? Yes, usually it's a parents of that 10-year-old daughter that's going to college. Here's my dad. I want to know where my dad is. He's right there. He's here. I don't know if you can see him that well. The phone doesn't show it that good, but if YouTube has him on there pretty good. And I could put it maybe right there in the middle. Nope, still didn't help. Anyway, we're trying, Tim. We're trying. So the thief, So the enemy. So the question I have for you today is who is the enemy? Who's your enemy? Because remember, the enemy. First thing the enemy is going to do is guess what they're going to do? They're going to steal. But what do they steal? The truth. They steal the truth from you is what they do. The first thing they do is steal the truth. That took place all of 2020. Yes, this sounds like the Democrats. It does. They steal the truth, and then they try to corrupt you into believing something that, well, basically they made up. They just make this stuff up is what they do. And everybody that watches the Fuzzy Show knows that I don't really hammer on the Democrats too much because we already know who they are. We already know the Democrats are, can I say evil people? Would that be a good word? I mean, it's really,
they are the evil people.
They are, yes.
They are the evil people.
Yes. They are the enemy of America.
And they band themselves together.
Completely together.
Yeah, they band themselves together. And you know that many sticks wrapped together you can't break.
That's true. That is true. That is true. That is absolutely true.
And that's exactly what we got today. They got all these Democrats bound together, and you can't break them. The only way you break them is at the voting booth and get them out and put honest people in.
Honest people. I'm with you.
Huh?
I'm with you on that.
I think that's our biggest, to me, the biggest problem in politics is the integrity. There isn't any integrity. No integrity at all in the political field. You know, I know if all politicians are liars, all liars run for political office. I don't know which is which.
They end up lying when they get there. Some of them. Right. You know, some of them.
Until I'm in office.
Yeah. They're in office. Except for the last platform the Democrats run on, they told us exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to open borders. They're going to raise taxes.
And take your guns.
They're going to take your guns. They're going to completely lie to you over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the news people are right in on it. The news people's right in. And I know there's a lot of good conservative talk show hosts, Dan Bongino, you know, and really Sean Hannity ain't that bad. And these guys ain't that bad. Guess what? They never asked the real question. Where were you January 6th? Where were the Republican Party January 6th when we could have did something? They were at a pizza party. They were partying because, you know, now they don't have to work so hard because Joe Biden made it and they could just blame everything on the Democrats when in all reality, you know, in all reality, the party should have stood up. They should have stood up. They should have stood up. So the question is, when you start looking at this, the Democratic Party is the enemy of America right now.
Absolutely.
They're stealing, they're going to kill us, and they're trying to destroy America. Exactly what's taking place. The enemy comes to do nothing but steal, kill, and destroy.
Yep.
And they are the enemy of America. And I said this, I think the last podcast or, you know, maybe a couple of them ago that half of America is just wrong. They're just flat out wrong. And maybe it's not half. What do you think? Maybe.
Well, I think there's a lot of them that voted on the wrong way because they were influenced by somebody else to vote that direction. They were told a lie and they believed it.
And they bought in.
You know something? You tell a lie often enough, you'll believe it yourself.
That is true. That is true. That's a good saying right there.
Right.
You continue to repeat it.
You can. Hey, wait a minute. I just said yes. I think that's true, and it's not true. If you tell a lie long enough, often enough, you'll believe it yourself.
With that, we got a lot of thumbs up going on that one. There's people buying in. That is true. True. That is why every time I'm on my podcast, I remember you have to be able to look in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. You got to be able to look in the mirror and tell yourself the hard truth. Sometimes it's hard too, right?
Oh, you're right.
Sometimes it's like, I don't want to admit it. I do not want to admit it. I don't want to know.
Well, you know, I think that's like people that have a disease of some sort. You know, and we just went through it with Mom. All right. She would not admit that she had Alzheimer's and dementia.
Right.
Oh, nothing to it. And I think that's because, and if you don't admit you've got a problem, you're never going to get any help. You got to admit I got a problem, and then you can get some help. If you never admit you got a problem. You don't have the problem.
I don't have a problem.
Right. I mean, that's to the person that has the problem. Right. I don't have a problem. You got the problem. I don't have the problem. Well, that's not so.
That's what's actually going on in the leadership of the Democratic Party. We got a problem.
Oh, big one.
But not according to them. There's no problem.
No, right.
You know, we got a problem. You know what I'm going to do, first of all, for all my friends out there that are Democrats, I'm actually going to give Whitmer a 1st and 10. Now, why am I giving her 1st and 10? I just heard that this federal $300 unemployment, if you don't go back to work, she's going to take it from you. But if you go back to work, she's going to let you keep getting it until September.
But you got to go to work.
But you got to go to work to get it.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you don't go to work, you still get the Michigan $300 or
then
whatever.
You still get the unemployment.
But you don't get the $600.
But you don't get the bonus.
That's right. So now, if you go to work and go, Governor Whitmer, I think it's a great move, really, to be honest with you. And so, 1st and 10 for Governor Whitmer on that.
That gives people incentive to go to work.
Yes.
And as long as they're going to give them the extra dollars for not working, there's no incentive to go to work.
And that's the problem. We got 9.6 million jobs in America right now.
Right. And you take these young kids that are playing ball, baseball or basketball, whatever. Everybody gets a trophy now. What? Huh? Right. What's the incentive to be a good ball player, a good sportsman? There really isn't any, because everybody gets a trophy.
Right.
If I don't care who it is, you get a trophy if you play the game. That's not the way it is.
And way back in probably your day and my day, coaches used to coach not just the sport, but character.
Yeah, you're right.
They coached character.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now there's really no character going on. I'm telling you, I see it all the time, and a lot of my officiating buddies know exactly what I'm talking about. You can tell the kids that have no upbringing at home. They are the kids that cause trouble. Just so up, and then their parents are the ones that blame the officials. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you mean? You know, I've probably told the story before, but I had the 7th grade girl at Brotherton High School one time. This was probably 10 years ago, whatever case it was. And I ended up kicking her out of the game. And I'm standing in the middle of the court. I'm like, you got to go. She walks by me and shoves me on the way to the locker room. 7th grade girl shoves the official. And then I just look up in the stands. I knew who the parents were. And I'm like, well, I know who runs the show at that family. And it's not the parents, you know. And then after the game, the coaches come to me and try to tell me I was wrong. But then the AD at Brotherton, Mr. Kemmler, he come to me and said, no, she's been kicked out a few times, Jim. She's a problem. So even the coaches now cannot stand up and tell the truth. You know, they're just not truthworthy. And it's just a mess. And that's why we have the enemy. We have to recognize the enemy. What I'm trying to say, I think. You got to recognize the enemy. And the enemy will tell you just enough truth to keep you coming back. But they just give you just a piece. And then they keep coming back, and they keep coming back, and they keep coming. Pretty soon you're buying, like you said. Oh, I think they're telling me the truth. I think they're telling me the truth. And that's what they do. So 1st and 10 for Governor Whitmer. Governor Whitmer on that. So we got a lot of things happening. Mike Lindell come out. I don't know if you guys heard about Mike Lindell. The Arizona recount should be coming out pretty soon. I think he said it's like 2 or 3 weeks from now. It's going to come out, and we're going to know. And here's the thing we want. I just want to know the truth.
That's right.
That's it.
I agree.
And if it comes out that Biden won, well, so be it. So be it. It is what it is, right? Yes.
As long as it's an honest election. But right now, nobody wants to investigate to find out if it's been honest.
Correct. That's all we want. We just wanted to look. You know, we said it way back, probably my first podcast. I heard somebody say, you know, you think I stole your car, wouldn't you want me to open up the garage door, prove I didn't steal it? And we said that and that's all we're asking for. And I think Arizona is the first start of opening up that garage door. And if he won fair and square, if there's really 85 million people that voted for Joe Biden, I'd probably kiss his butt on the 50-yard line. Because I just don't think there is. I just don't think there's 85 million people voted for the guy. You know?
It doesn't appear to me that there'll be that many with the with the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign. I mean, Trump campaign had how many thousands and thousands of people at his, and Biden they had to take and put the 12 people in the front row to show they had a lot of people. It just doesn't make sense.
Oh, it just goes round and round and round. And that is the thing we're fighting right now. We're fighting truth. We're fighting truth. And I don't know. Hopefully we can pull it out.
Hopefully.
We got the golf game on next to us. We get carried away a little bit. Got the U.S. Open.
Well, we gotta watch the golf game.
Yeah. We're on the porch, by the way. Fuzzy's on the porch, and we got a nice fire going over there behind my dad. You guys can see all that stuff. So yeah, we're having a good time. You know, turn phone sideways, but I don't think I can if I'm live on Facebook. I think it goes away. Yep. See, I got to rotate my voice. So you got to keep it upright. You can't go sideways on it. So, but we got a lot of things happening now, and now we got Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin comes out. No, we got to keep the filibuster. Did you hear about all that?
No.
Joe Manchin, he's the senator from West Virginia, right? We're gonna keep the I'm not voting for the change of the filibuster. I'm not voting for the new voting law changes. Well, now all of a sudden, after a private meeting with the upper echelon of the Democrats, he's changed his mind. And Joe Manchin, 3,000-yard penalty just because you have no backbone.
Yeah,
you have no backbone at all. And that's the fact that's what we're fighting. These people. Here's a situation. I think I said it before. I'll say it again. I always hear this term limit stuff, right? We need term limits. We need term limits.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you a secret. We are the term limits. Yeah. Vote these people out.
You're right.
Do 2 terms out. I don't care who you are.
Oh, you do.
2 terms out. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. I don't care what they got. I tell you right now, vote them out.
Yeah, vote them out.
Vote them out. And we got a message down here. They say Trump got 75 million. There are only 140 million registered voters. Well, if that's an actual number, somehow
he got 75 million.
Well, Trump did.
Yeah.
But there's only 140 million registered voters.
Well, somebody's voting the twice.
Well, it's probably the new math. You know, it's probably a new math they teach at school now. You know, along with
I'll tell you, here's the thing. You know, I got 11 fingers. Did you know it? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add them together. 6 and 5 is 11.
There you go. Here we go. It's the same Fuzzy Senior that 2 1/2 dozen kids.
Yeah, that's right. 2 1/2 dozen.
2 1/2 dozen. So, but this is what we're fighting about. This is, you know, and then you got a critical race theory in schools now. I don't even know what to think about that, really. I have no idea what to think about that. It's like, why do you teach a black kid that's got no chance in life? Why would you teach that to somebody?
You know, I think what they should do in a situation like that.
Well, there we go.
Show them no chance in life. Show them Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Huh? Show them Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Show them Muhammad Ali. You know, I mean, you show them.
Show him Barack Obama.
Yeah.
My God, he was president of the United States.
Right. But so you have life is what you make it, and you got to make it what you want it.
That's fact. That's fact. You got to build it up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I said this before. You got to have a gotta wanna.
Yes.
If you don't have a gotta wanna, you ain't going to.
Huh? And I agree. Hard-working people, you know. People that work hard too. We're not taking anything from the people that work hard. But what's trying to take place right now is they're trying to strip all this from us. The stock market, 400 some points down, biggest crash since January, since Biden took office, by the way.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I don't know. I've been saying this over and over. This is going to happen. Inflation's skyrocketing. I mean, housing. My God, if you pay $1,000 in rent right now, probably by next year it's going to be $1,500.
You can't buy a place.
Well, you can in Calva. In Calva, Michigan, you can find a place. In Irons, Michigan, you can find a place for $1,000. You can't find one for $1,000 in Grand Rapids or Traverse City. You know what I mean? But whatever it is, it's going to be double, and people got to start paying attention. We got to blow a whistle on Joe Biden because what a weak conference he had with Putin. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, my God, what a weak dude.
He gave the United States away.
Yes, he did. I'm surprised he didn't sign Alaska off. It's a good thing we're going pretty soon, Bob, because it probably won't even be an American state pretty soon. They're probably, oh, here, give it to Russia. You know, they can use the oil over there. So, but listen, the point is, no, you gotta know who your enemy is. You gotta know who your enemy is, and the old saying says, "Keep your friends close and your enemies closer." Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, because your enemy will kill you. And the nice thing we know about the Democrats is, like I said all the time, they look in the eye and stab you. The Republicans are the ones that hug you, thank you for the vote, and stab you right in the back. And that's what they did to us January 6th. And January 7th, they've been digging them graves for years, really. And January 7th, when they decided not to investigate, they jumped in them graves. And I just think it's like this. I think there's one set of people up there in Congress and senators. I think there's one kind of people with two names. I think they're all alike. I think they all are similar in thinking, and not completely thinking, but they don't want to fight. The Republicans don't fight.
No.
And the Democrats fight for everything that's wrong. And it's bad. So my own thought is Republican, Democrat, I don't think so. I think it's one party with two names. You know what I mean? I think they try to separate themselves, but they can't. And we're in for a big fight. We got a couple good senators. We got Tom Cotton, good senator, fighting for us.
Yeah.
Cruz, we got Cruz. We got a senator out there fighting for us. Actually, Florida, the governor of Florida, which is a first and 10 for Ron DeSantis, sending his police force to Texas and Arizona to help stop the influx of illegal aliens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for immigrants coming here, but they got to come through the front door.
Agreed.
Come to the front door, I'll welcome you.
Right.
But when you sneak in, and like saying that's thievery.
That is thievery. That's stealing.
That's stealing. You're stealing the right, and then what they're doing, they're actually stealing from the very people that came here legally.
Correct.
They're stealing from those people. They're not stealing from like you and I that born here in the United States.
Right.
Because our parents came over here, our great grandparents, came over here legally. That made us a legal citizen. But these people that are coming in across the border and they're coming in illegally, they're actually stealing from those that do come in here legally.
That's correct. And you hear a lot of them that did it legally. They're like, wait a minute, I did it legally.
Right.
I paid my dues.
Right.
I paid and I did it. And I learned English. I went and I learned the Constitution. I went and I swore under oath. And now these people are just being allowed in by our president and the vice president of America, and they're stealing.
Yeah.
And they're going to kill us, and they're going to destroy America.
No, speaking of being under oath, our Congress people represented, when they go in there, I swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America to both foreign and domestic enemies.
Correct.
All right? That's what they said. But they don't.
No.
They don't. They don't uphold the Constitution at all.
No.
They set the Constitution to whatever they think it ought to be, instead of following it just as it's written.
I agree with that too. I agree with that. That's what they do, and that's why they're destroyed. That's why they're the enemy of American people.
I guess the question is, what part of "thou shalt not steal" don't you understand?
It might be the thou.
Yeah.
It might be the thou. Hey, listen, no, it's that's what's going on, and stay focused on this fact, because things are going to happen. That's got to happen. I just still believe it's got to happen. I still believe something's good's got to take place.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really think that we're quite ready for the complete destruction of America, even though we're going down the line. I don't care what anybody thinks.
Oh,
I don't care. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. We are on a downhill slide right now, and something good has to happen. It has to happen. We got to believe in ourselves. It's going to happen. But keep focused and find out who your enemy is. And we'll stay tuned for next week. Thanks, Fuzzy Senior, for joining us on the Fuzzy Show. Fuzzy, over and out. That's my little fuzzies. That's what I do. Then we can listen.